Yeah, so a knockout, like I'll just throw like a regular kick at you and you're dead.
Yeah, just drop.
And then versus if a TKO is like where I kick you, you
Mhm.
fall over and then I add like a bunch of ground and pounds and the ref stops it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a stoppage.
Yeah. So any type of stoppage is gonna be TKO
Gotcha.
versus just a regular knockout is just a knockout.
Yeah.
It's more common for a TKO, but it's still considered a knockout for you, like on your record.
Right, because it's not like you're choking me out or anything like that. Like, I didn't submit. You just beat the shit out of me.
Yeah, and like it'll show up on your record. Like let's say I'm 25-5-0.
Yeah.
Then it's gonna be like, and then it's gonna say like 10 submissions, 5 knockouts,
Yeah.
and then the rest are just decision.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
I guess.
so. Yeah, I mean,
That's how it works.
quick rundown of the fight. Because we recorded the day of the fight last week.
Yeah, and then after we got done recording, we just went and saw it. So.
Yeah, great card though. It was a great card.
Yeah, there was a lot of first round shit. There was like 2 or 3 first round.
Bo Nichols' fight was crazy.
That was fucking nuts.
Man, I feel bad for the other guy though because
Yeah, that was his debut. I was like,
not even that.
Yeah.
I saw a TikTok of so he was at the airport by himself and like no one came to pick him up.
oh,
So he's just like walking around smiling. He's like, "It's my debut. I'm excited," and just like talking to himself and stuff. So I was like, "Oh, that's it."
that's cute.
But then and then Bo Nickel knocked him on like 30 seconds.
Yeah, bro. Because what all of his fights were first rounds, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? This guy's gonna be the first one to go past first rounds, and he just
Yeah.
gets the shit beat out. I'm
Yeah,
like,
and then
never mind.
and then Marco called like a second round submission because Bo Nickel's primarily of like a he attacks the ground game more and like
Yeah.
goes for control.
Right.
I said, "Hey, it's gonna be a second round knockout." 30 seconds and knocked
Yeah,
out.
boom. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? But I hate that they're short, but I like
Yeah.
that it's like that intense.
Oh, yeah.
In the beginning, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those are definitely good ass fights.
But yeah, no, the card was just crazy. Brandon Moreno's fight was really good.
Was I there for that? I was. 'Cause
you
the only
were,
one
'cause
I
that
missed
was
was
the last fight.
the.
Yeah.
I only missed the very last fight. That was it. I don't know if I remember that fight.
So Brandon Moreno was the previous champion, and then
Okay.
the person he fought, I forgot his name. He's a Brazilian.
Yeah.
Bro, like the only reason he won, so if you look at the stats, it was a really close fight,
Yeah.
and he won off split decision. And Brandon Moreno had more significant strikes, but the other guy had 1 knockdown, and he had like 4 minutes of like just control. Brandon Moreno had like 2 minutes of control.
Oh shit.
So like control time's a huge thing. Like Marco was telling us, is like if a card or like if it goes to decision, they're gonna look at like control time and like takedowns and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that shit's
Yeah.
so weird. Like how they count points and like what
Mm.
certain moves are points or how many points certain moves are and shit.
Yeah.
I cannot be the fucking the
The judge?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
cannot be a judge, bro.
Yeah. And then the final fight, the one that you missed,
Yeah.
Alexander Volkanovski versus Yair Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Dude, this dude, I think you saw the highlights of Yair Rodriguez. Bro, he was like throwing like rolling thunder kicks, like he was doing a front
Yeah.
flip, back flip into the kick.
Yeah.
He does like tornado kicks,
Mhm.
reverse roundhouse, all of like these random kicks because he's a taekwondo specialist.
Mm-hmm.
And like each fighter has like their specialty.
Right.
And like I would say Volk is like one of those fighters that is just, he specializes in everything.
Yeah.
He's just the most balanced guy you can think of.
Yeah.
And so like Robert Whitaker, for example, is primarily of like a boxer, kickboxer type.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to so then you go back to the Volk fight. He's like 5'6", and then you see Yair Rodriguez, he's 5'11". So
Yeah. Yeah, Marco was showing me a clip of Vlad and
Volk,
or Volk, yeah.
Vlad.
I don't fucking know. V, whatever the fuck. Anyways, he showed me how Volk got out of a triangle,
Oh, dude, that fight was crazy.
and what was the other one? A guillotine.
Yeah, so he got out of the guillotine, and then he got put in a triangle, and then got out of the triangle and reversed
Yeah,
it.
like that's like nuts.
Yeah,
Like I don't know. Volk is a fucking dog. I love Volk.
yeah, and he's like, he used to be fighting in middleweight, so he used to be 185 pounds,
Yeah.
and he fought down at 145 now, and he's huge.
Yeah. He's big.
Like, if you saw Yair Rodriguez compared to him, Yair Rodriguez like a stick compared to Volk.
Yeah.
But
I think John Jones the GOAT.
yeah, I would say so too.
Yeah.
But
John Jones and Volk.
overall, pound for pound, it's Volk though.
Yeah.
But so yeah, back to the fight, dude. Like I mean, Volk just picked everything up, and like after the Islam fight, after he fought Islam, his ground game was crazy.
Yeah.
Like I think his record before was like 8 takedowns, and he had 9 takedowns in 2 rounds. It was crazy.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it took him down like every single round, like 5 or 6 times every round, or 4 or 5 times every round.
You think Volk won that Islam fight?
Yeah,
I do too. Fuck.
but the thing is that that was the first fight that Islam fought without Khabib.
Yeah.
And Khabib wasn't there, so
yeah,
Volk got robbed.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, Volk
especially how the fight ended with him ground and pound.
Yeah,
you deserve to at least win that round.
Right.
But I guess it was a split decision. But
it's some bullshit.
Yeah, like Volk killed him,
Yeah.
especially in that last round.
Yeah, I remember that fight. That was a good ass fight.
Yeah.
But who's John Jones fighting next?
Ooh, he's fighting in I think Madison Square Garden. Let me see who he's fighting.
Yeah, I forgot his name.
Is he fighting Stipe?
Yeah, he is.
Stipe Miocic?
Yeah, that's who that guy's name is.
Let me double check.
I want to see that fight, bro. Like any John Jones fight, I just want to fucking
Yeah,
see.
it's John Jones and Stipe Miocic.
Yeah, dude.
November 11th.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. No, so I don't know if you've ever seen Stipe fight.
I have never.
So this dude's like he's a firefighter now, but before this dude, I think he was considered the greatest heavyweight of all time. Yeah. Until he retired, and then John Jones went crazy. Mm-hmm. So now this is gonna be to figure out who's the greatest of all time. But they're both old. Yeah. It's gonna be a great fight though.
Yeah. Old heads fucking fighting.
Yeah, but I would say Jones might win just because Stipe hasn't fought in forever. Right. And Jones just recently fought, so
yeah, that's true.
I would say fight experience might, like recent fight experience might help John Jones.
Yeah. Yeah, John Jones is just a fucking beast.
Yeah.
He beat, Ganes or Gaines?
Oh, yeah. Zaragon.
Yeah, like fucking nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he beat him it was a guillotine, right?
Yeah. And I was just like, as soon as he was put in that position, he just tapped out. I was like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Or at least try to get the fuck out of it.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Fight going.
Yeah. But, I mean, I don't think you understand. John Jones is known for his guillotine and standing guillotines.
Oh, yeah.
So, anytime he gets somebody in, they're dead as soon as they're in. But, I mean, I get what you're saying.
I'm sure, as soon as he figured he was in that position, he was going to lose. But
at least try
that's why he tapped. But it's like, at the same time, at least try.
At least try to get out, yeah.
Yeah. It's
the same thing with, the McGregor-Khabib fight. Like, a lot of people were mad because they were saying that he shouldn't have tapped. But, I mean, if you watch the whole fight, people were saying that, you can tell Conor McGregor was gassed. Yeah. The first 2 rounds, he was dead. Yeah. And then, he tried to use the second round to, catch his breath. Mm-hmm. But Khabib would just kept pressing him. Yeah. And then the 3rd round hit, 4th round hit. And in the 4th round, they're like, how did he tap? He didn't get under his chin. And I was like, it wasn't a choke. Or it's considered a choke, but it's not a choke. Yeah. It's called a fulcrum choke. Mm-hmm. And, what it is, you don't even have to get under the chin, especially if you're that strong. Right. So what you're doing is, you're pushing in like this. Yeah. And, your neck is just... Basically, it feels like your neck is getting popped off. Yeah. So, yeah. And he tapped.
Yeah, fuck that.
But, yeah, back to his guillotine choke, bro. If you get caught in that, you're dead.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've seen that shit. I forgot the guy, but he did a standing guillotine, and then the guy just dropped dead.
Oh, yeah. That was John Jones.
I know. I'm saying I don't know the other guy's name.
Oh, yeah, me neither.
Who he did it to, but...
Yeah. And, they just fall limp.
Yeah. They literally just, dropped dead, it looked like. And I was like, holy my fucking God.
But, yeah, back to the Volk fight. I mean, if you watch the fight, this dude Volk, you can tell he learned so much from the Islam fight. Yeah. All he did was just wrestle. Yeah. And, the same type of, maneuvers you see, Khabib's team doing, Usman Nurmagomedov, Islam, Khabib did it. When they're on the floor and they're on top mount or side control, yeah, they're pushing their forehead into the other person's neck, shoulder, or chest area, or they'll push it into and make their head face the opposite way, just to get more control of like what they're trying to do. And Volk just started doing that out of nowhere. It was crazy. And then like anytime Yer would try to do a kick, like a side kick to like set something up, Volk would just grab it, throw him back down. He's like, all right, we're gonna go back to it.
Yeah.
Dude, it was a great fight though. It ended in a TKO.
I definitely don't like the whole wrestling thing.
Yeah.
That's just boring to me when they're just on the ground and there's like,
Oh yeah, no, just
like
breathing
just
on each other.
up. Yeah, they're just gassed, like wrapped up, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go watch SpongeBob. Like, that's boring. But then when they're up and like actually throwing shit, then that's entertaining.
Then yeah, you gotta watch Sean O'Malley fight.
Oh, I love how he fights, bro.
Yeah. I forgot who he recently fought. Is the dude with like neon green hair? Forgot his name. But DC did like a breakdown or like an analysis of like
DC the down.
did like the analysis of like the stoppage. People were saying that like he shouldn't have stopped the fight, but if you watch it, he threw like 8 punches in a row and didn't throw something back. So that's how you know like that it's done.
Yeah.
But so Sean O'Malley hit him with like as soon as he would take a step back, he knows when to throw the cross. And like out of nowhere, like if he's in like one position, he knew when to throw the uppercut, and if he's in like a certain position, he knew when to throw a hook.
Yeah.
And he hit every single spot perfectly. And then if you look at his face was swelling up like crazy.
Damn.
And yeah, like if you just watch Sean O'Malley fight in general, this dude is just like he's very technique sound.
Yeah.
And he's also like really entertaining to watch.
Right.
Just because like he just puts on a show when he fights.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely entertaining.
And he doesn't do a lot of like wrestling stuff. He's more stand up.
Yeah, right. That's why I like him, because he don't do all that bullshit.
Yeah.
It's important, but he don't do all that bullshit.
Yeah.
Man, you like Body Armor, man?
Great. Mouthful, I'm thirsty.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, the whole night was crazy because our server sucked.
Oh my god. Should we talk about that for a
Yeah,
little
let's talk
bit?
about it.
Let's talk about it for a little bit. So it's me, you, Marco, and fucking
Danny.
and Danny.
And then Damien for a little bit.
Yeah, Damien for like 5 minutes. And then
That's a whole other story to tell.
yeah. So we get sat at B-Dubs, and we get this waiter, and we're like, and as soon as we're sat, and it takes like what 10-15 minutes just for him to come up to us.
No, it took 10 minutes for me to get there. And then when I got there, it took him about 10 minutes to get to the table.
Yeah, so like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Are we blurry? I don't think so.
No, I think we should be good.
I hope
You want me to double check?
if it's up to you, I don't care. Are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Oh shit, I don't know. I be having PTSD with that blurry shit.
Oh
bro.
yeah.
So it's like 20 minutes before the waiter even comes up to our table to like,
Yeah.
you know, hey, I'm so and so. I'm here to take care of you. Can I start you guys off with any drinks? 20 minutes just for that.
Just for that, yeah.
So as soon as like when I realized how late he came up, I was just like, this dude's not getting tipped.
Yeah.
Not getting fucking tipped. Did you tip him?
No.
Neither
Oh wait,
did I.
actually I did tip him a cent.
Oh yeah.
Or like 0.0095.
Yeah. Some fucking prank shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, this guy fucking sucked. So I was just like, you know what? Just give me a fucking Pepsi or Coke, whatever. You know, you said what?
I got a Pepsi.
Yeah, and then you know, water, lemonade, whatever. And it takes this dude another like 10 minutes to get us our drinks.
Yep.
And then that's when we're like, all right, let's just fucking order so we can get some food.
Not even that. The drinks were watered down.
Yeah. Mine was fine, honestly.
Mine was like crazy watered down. That means that he filled it up and then just waited.
Oh yeah, probably. That's kind of shitty.
Yeah.
Mine wasn't too bad though, but so we're just like, all right, let's order our food. So we order our food, and then they come out at like different times, and then they got Marco's and Danny's food right. Well, no, Danny didn't get anything.
Yeah.
They got Marco's food right, but I think they gave us like completely different.
Oh, dude, our orders are. Oh my god.
So you ordered a small cauliflower with
mango habanero.
And I ordered a small cauliflower wings with Asian zing. And I could have sworn they gave me a large cauliflower Asian zing. and then they just gave you like no sauce.
They gave me like 6 cauliflowers, like fried
Yeah.
cauliflowers with like ranch on the side.
Yeah, with
And then-
ranch on the side and no like sauce. They were just dried.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? But they gave me a large, so I'm like, is this even like my thing?
Yeah.
Because like usually the Asian zing will have like the red and green flakes, like whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah.
But
Like green
they-
onions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they didn't. So I was like, is this mine? But it tasted like Asian zing.
And I
so
smelled it. I
like-
was like, yeah, this is thing.
Yeah, so I was just like, I mean, he only charged me for a small, and I got a large, which is nice, but I didn't even like eat all of it.
Mm-hmm.
But
There's another reason why you didn't eat all of it, but
yeah, and I don't know. He was just
Oh,
not. He
dude.
was just not attentive to us.
not
at
even
all.
that, dude. Like the person that brought us our food, that wasn't even our server.
Yeah.
It was just like
Well,
some random.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not always the waiter or server that has you that
Oh,
brings
yeah,
out the food.
right.
It could be different people.
Yeah, but then like it took him forever to come back, and I
Yeah.
called him down like, yo, like I didn't get any sauce. So he goes, you want it on the side?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, whatever.
And
So
then,
yeah.
yeah, he just wasn't attentive. I know Marco was drinking a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and he was just like, I want my fucking drink.
Yeah, he's 21 by the way. So
Where's my Diet Dr. cup? Where's
Yeah.
my fucking drink?
Yeah.
He's fucking freaking out over his alcohol. And
well, to be fair, waiting like 15 minutes for one drink is
I don't
crazy.
blame him, but
yeah.
like he did get a little too mad
Mhm,
for
yeah,
alcohol.
I would say that too.
Yeah. But so I was just like, bro, you gotta chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'd be upset because like if I had an empty drink, I would. But like
Mhm.
if it's alcohol, I wouldn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And yeah, he just wasn't attentive. Like it took him forever for us to even be able to talk to him because he was just never at his tables.
Yeah.
And then for him to actually get us our drinks took forever as well. So we actually did not tip him shit.
I would understand. Okay, so I would understand if like he had like 10 tables or something like that.
But
he was
no
only
waiter even has 10 tables.
not even that. He was serving 2 tables.
Yeah, it was
And-
us and 1 or 2 other people.
Yeah. And that's it.
Like 3 tables max.
Yeah, 3 tables max. And like I remember we were talking to one of the other servers, like she was
Yeah.
just like vacuuming or whatever.
Oh, I remember that.
And then me and Danny were like, "Yo, is he new?" And she's like, "Which
Yeah.
one?" We're like, "This guy." She's like, "No, he's been here for like 2 months."
Yeah. Like, oh, he knows everything by now.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah. And we told her, we were like, yeah, he's just not being attentive and shit. She's like, oh, okay, I'm going to go talk to him. Or she said she was going to go talk to somebody about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I fucking hope so. And then we talked to a table behind us or like, close by us. And they're like, yeah, we haven't even gotten like our waters yet and shit.
Dude, they got there when we got there. It was crazy.
And we asked them if they were going to get their waters. Or like, they said they didn't get their waters when we already got our food.
Yeah.
And we thought it took long as fuck for our food to get to us. But they didn't even get their fucking waters. I'm like,
Yeah.
holy shit, this guy sucks at his fucking job, bro.
Yeah. And then so then Danny was like, "Yeah, I got to go."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Yeah, I just want my bill." So he's like, "Yeah, you can get your bill." Comes back like 45 minutes later.
Yeah,
And
bro.
like, and then I remember Danny saying, "Yo, I'm waiting for my bill." So he comes back. So then he goes, "Oh yeah, I'll grab it for you. I'll be back." And that just doesn't come back. Then we talk to
Yeah.
the girl, and then the girl we're like, "Yeah, he's trying to get his bill. It's been about an hour, and he still hasn't gotten his bill yet."
Yeah.
So she's like, "Okay, I'll grab it." So then she grabbed it in like not even 5 minutes.
yeah.
Brought it out, signed it, and then he dipped.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, nobody tipped shit. I put 0. I know Danny put 0.
Yep.
You did some fucking weird shit. You put like 0.0000001,
yeah,
like just to fuck with him. Did Marco tip or no?
no.
Yeah.
And
bro.
Marco's a waiter, bro.
Yeah.
So I'll like,
And that's the thing. I think he also got upset because he is a waiter, so he understands like how that waiter should be to us.
yeah.
And
And not even that. He like Marco, as him being a waiter, he waits a lot more tables than this guy.
yeah.
And plus, like where he works, it's a lot more stressful because it's
yeah.
more people.
I mean, yeah, and like his bosses too, like just the whole management, they're very like on ass about everything.
Yeah.
Like you have to be no.
Yeah. So I would understand if he would been like, because Marco's the type of guy like if we're going too far, he'll let us know.
Mm-hmm.
But he's the one that was just like, bro, I need this now.
Yeah.
And that's how we knew we were like, dude, yeah, this guy does not know what he's doing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
completely threw off our whole night. But
Yeah.
still great fights.
I mean, yeah, we watched UFC, had some food.
Yeah.
But yeah, fuck that waiter, bro.
Yeah.
If I go if I get set and he comes up and like says, "Hey,"
I'm literally standing up and leaving.
yeah, me too.
And but I think primarily like the reason I remember talking to like a server the day before because we went there to watch like the Spurs game, and he was just like, yeah, I think all the servers are calling off for the fight tomorrow, or like at least all the guy servers were. That's what he said. So
That's crazy.
yeah,
It makes sense.
I think they were like the backup team or like the B team or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it wasn't even that packed when we got there. Like even when
Oh, it was
the Volt
not.
fight, it was not even
Yeah.
like there's so many empty tables.
Yeah.
So we're like, all right.
Yeah. Yeah, that waiter fucking sucked.
All right. So we for the past like what 2-3 episodes we've been talking about like different types of like advice from different books. So like we talked about the 48 Laws of Power. Then we just talked about just regular philosophy stuff on like what we think about this, and this, the WNBA,
Yeah.
how like they should adjust accordingly and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So then I got like, so I've had a few people that actually like give me like feedback.
Yeah.
It's just like few of my family members,
Right.
and like they gave me like feedback about like the podcast and stuff. That's when I told you about like starting putting like titles and stuff on it.
Right.
And
Which we have. Thank you.
Yeah, now we do have titles. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so then they're like, yeah, you guys talk of like I like the topics you guys are talking about, but you guys aren't giving us a real like perspective on what you guys think is like what a man is, or like how would you describe somebody that's a man versus a boy when it comes to like mentality, spirituality, physicality, so on and so forth. So how would you describe a man?
Well, physicality is like that's.
Oh yeah, that's like the easiest one.
That's
but,
the easiest one because that's the the cover of the whole book. You
yeah,
know?
literally.
So I think we can all agree on what separates a man and a boy physically.
Yep.
Um.
Facial hairs, number 1. Body tone, number 2.
Yeah.
Basically, all that.
Yeah. Fucking being able to run through a fucking door.
Yeah, basically.
But mentally, for me, I think it's being able to be responsible and take accountability.
Yep.
And be able to understand more things and more things well.
Okay.
And better. Also gaining a skill at something. Becoming financially literate. Pretty much just understanding and always improving yourself. That's the other thing. It's like you'll see grown ass men do little kid shit, bro. Like
Yes.
I literally
yes.
work with like guys that are over double my age.
Yeah.
And they still act like fucking kids.
Mm-hmm.
They still want to go out and fuck girls and drink and shit. And it's
Yeah.
like, what the fuck are you doing?
I know. Yeah, like, bro, aren't you like 40? You
Yeah.
should be having like your midlife crisis by now.
I swear to God, bro.
But maybe it is their midlife crisis. You never know.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? But yeah, like with a man, there's never. I don't believe in like a complete man.
Okay.
Like I don't. I believe a man is like you're always improving yourself.
Okay.
Like I mean, that's part of why I got this tattoo. Just a reminder to myself.
Yeah.
And it's as a man, it's like you're responsible for things. You understand what you're accountable of. You take accountability. You have a skill. You're always improving everything.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's making more money, you're getting experience at the skill that you chose to do. You're getting closer with God. You're getting closer with your family and shit like that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But there's never an end point to like that. Okay, I'm man enough type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you. So I'm going to bounce off of that a little bit. Basically just add on to it before I go into mine.
Yeah.
So like when you were talking about like a lot of people think that age is what makes you a man.
No.
It's not true. Like exactly what you said about your job, where you see 40-year-olds acting like little kids.
Yeah.
And then you'll see like certain countries where like you'll see like an 8-year-old providing for his family.
Yeah.
So it's not about the age. It's more
It's
just
not,
like
bro.
how they respond mentally.
Yeah. How do you respond to obstacles being thrown at
Correct. Yes. So yeah. So now my perspective on it is like it's a little different from yours. Like about like there's never gonna be like a complete man, and like I think there is one, and it's just the prophet, peace be upon him. And like our whole like what's it called, ummah. So that's just like the people of that prophet.
Yeah.
So we follow what he does, like exactly what he did, because he's like the definition of a man.
Yeah.
So I was just listening to a podcast today about it, like how he used to be when he was younger. So like even before he gained prophethood, which was when he was 40.
Yeah.
So basically from when he was born until he was 40,
Yeah.
he didn't receive any like type of prophethood stuff.
Right.
So he was just a regular old man, and you can still tell that like this dude was just like the most trustworthy man ever.
Mm-hmm.
But like the earliest teachings of him, like they always said that when he was around in public, he was basically so his shyness was like the biggest thing.
Yeah.
So when he would talk to people, especially if it was like women, you would think they would describe it as a virgin behind a veil. That's how shy he used to be.
Mm-hmm.
But when he needed to, he was as strong as they compared him to as strong as 30 men.
Yeah.
So like you can tell like there's certain parts of a man like emotional intelligence is probably the biggest thing I would say.
Oh, for sure, bro.
So like
100%.
so like the being able to switch from like how he was described like a virgin behind a veil,
Mm-hmm.
and then going off into war and just killing like
Yeah.
being like considered the strength of 30 men.
Yeah.
That's the type of thing that creates emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
And being able to like how you were saying like adjust to all the obstacles you get and
Yeah.
working off of them,
Responding correctly.
responding
to-
correctly.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's what creates emotional intelligence.
Right.
I think I brought this quote up once when what Andrew Tate said is that people now are too scared to be stressed, but
Yeah.
he said be stressed when you're young because then it will increase your emotional intelligence,
Right.
and then it would also put you in high stress situations.
Yeah.
And then when you get a high stress job, you're going to be able to perform a lot better
Right.
and get a lot more money because primarily like the higher stress your job is, the more you get paid.
Right.
Like
And it's yeah.
if I'm a desk clerk, I'm
Right.
making like 20 an hour.
Yeah.
If I'm, an ER doctor or like a trauma surgeon,
Uh-huh.
I'm making 175 an hour.
Right.
Like it all depends.
Exactly. It's all about with men, it's all about performance.
Mm-hmm.
So like what Andrew said, it's like if you're stressed early in your life
Yep.
and you get used to that stress,
Mm-hmm.
then your performance is going to be better. And then you're going to get
Yep. So
you're going to get better at it. You're going to get more consistent with your performance. You're going to get, more money. You'll get better experience.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
and then like there's also like a quote from like Arabic poetry.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like what the prophet or anybody said. It's just a poet, what a poet said.
Yeah.
So the poet was saying like, no matter how strong or like no matter how lifeless that obstacle feels. So like basically saying that like you're gonna be at the deepest end of your life.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna be as bad as or like that will make you one of the strongest in the world or something. It was like something along those lines, basically saying that the like no matter how hard that hardship is,
Yeah.
if you can come back from that, it's gonna make you even better, like a million times better than versus like if you have a smaller hardship, then your stress tolerance is a little bit lower than like the higher your stress tolerance is, the more the more you're gonna perform basically.
Right. Yeah.
So like if you see NFL players, for example, they're playing at the highest level,
Mm-hmm.
and like 100,000, 200,000 every Sunday are watching you play.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of stress. But if you look at the greats like Tom Brady,
Yeah.
like all these quarterbacks, for example, like Tom Brady, Joe Burrow,
The GOAT, Walter Payton.
Walter Payton, like Troy Polamalu, Brian Urlacher, all of them, right? I can just keep naming them.
Right.
They performed at the highest level in the highest stage
Yeah.
for the longest period of time because their stress tolerance was already so high.
Yeah.
Like if you look back on all of their lives, you can see like especially with Tom Brady, like he got drafted like 280th, 89th or something like that.
299th or
Something crazy like that. And he was like
Oh.
and then he only had the starting spot for like a year, like 2 years.
Yeah.
And then you look at like Ray Lewis where the only thing he had was a deck of cards.
Yeah.
So the only reason why he did push-ups was to stop from
his
stepdad beating his mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then like all of those, you can see like they've been tested at a young age.
Yeah.
And they've adapted so well that like 100,000 people, that's nothing. Watch this.
Yeah.
So you can see that like the higher stress people,
Yeah.
they're gonna perform the most.
Right.
So that's why like I'm like I wouldn't like oh yeah the Dwight Howard thing. I don't know if you saw that. So
What?
this is what I was gonna bring up. So Dwight Howard is basically getting canceled right now
Oh, for real?
because there's like a video of him training his son and he's like on the elliptical and his son's crying, but Dwight Howard's just like basically motivating him. He's just like, you got to keep going, no matter what. Like, and he's just like laughing, but like he's not laughing, he's just smiling. He's like, keep pushing, keep pushing. He's smiling because he knows that like
Yeah.
his kid's gonna be great because he's crying and he's still going.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, this is torture. Like, I can't believe you're doing this to him. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
and the people saying that are the people that have probably never touched a sport.
exactly.
Never been in sports and probably have sat on their couch doing nothing their whole life.
Yeah. And also I think it's scientifically proven that the higher like the more stress, like the higher stress level, like the higher your stress level is at that time, and then as soon as you get relief from that stress level, that's the same amount of testosterone that is raised with it.
Yeah.
So there's also a scientific correlation with it that the more stressed you are, the more of a man you become, basically.
Yeah, literally.
And I mean, if you look at going to the gym, for example, you're putting stress onto your body.
Yep.
And when you're recovering, your testosterone increases.
Yeah.
It's the same exact thing when you think of it mentally.
Right.
And I mean, even like if you go into the spiritual sense, there's like multiple chapters of the Quran that tell you, like there's a certain quote where like in the Quran where it says, "Verily, with hardship comes ease," and then like then there's like later on in the different chapter, has he not find you lost it and guided you, and like so on and so forth, right? So you got to look at stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like if from a spiritual sense is that no matter how lost you are, you're always going to be found and guided regardless of what you believe.
Right.
And it's not going to come to you by laying down. You got to open your mind to it.
Yeah.
That's another big thing is being open-minded,
Yeah.
but being and staying strong to your own beliefs and morals.
Right.
So like, for example, right, I'll say this right now. I don't support LGBTQ.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh no, I'm canceled, whatever. Okay. So I don't support it.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, I don't support it.
Yeah.
But no matter how much hate I get, if I break and say I do support it, that I'm not a man.
Yeah.
The person that's a man is somebody that can stay strong to their beliefs no matter what people say.
Yeah.
Being stubborn on your beliefs is a big thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's what I would say. What makes a man is just trying to be as close as you can to what the Prophet, peace be upon him, was.
Yeah.
And yeah, so for you, spirituality or like spiritually, what do you think is a big thing for a man? Like now that you've talked about like, you know, being in high stress situations mentally, spiritually, would you say like
I would just say just be religious. Just
yeah,
in
literally
any sense.
yeah.
Like if you're Jewish, you're Christian, Catholic, Muslim, like it doesn't matter. As long believe what you want to believe, but one, stick to those beliefs, and two, just be religious in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't care what any religion
Correct.
is. Like I don't care what religion anyone is. So as long as you're just religious and you, like you said, be stubborn to your beliefs.
Yep.
Or about your beliefs, like just do that.
Yeah.
And you honestly, I feel like if you like, that's the thing about the whole high stress situations. You have to really be at a high performance and deal with that stress. You have to like go at the stress.
Yes.
Like you have to go to where the stress is. You have to like put yourselves in that situation to feel the stress.
Yep.
But I feel like, I don't know, you can disagree or agree with me on this, but I feel like if you're religious and you just have that person to back you up, dealing with that stress and being comfortable with that stress will make it a lot easier for
Oh,
you.
dude, I 100% agree, especially with like how you said with the religion.
Mm-hmm.
The point of like, even in the Quran, it says this, like the point of being on this earth is to be tested.
Yeah.
It's so like going back to high school, right? I'm just using this as it's a terrible analogy, but like going back to high school, right? Did you study for any of your test?
No.
Okay.
No.
So let's pretend you did, right?
Yeah.
You studied so hard for this test.
Okay.
Let's say it's like a really hard math test, right?
Okay.
And you failed.
Yeah.
Are you are you still gonna study? Like pretend like you're you're like a really smart kid and you failed.
Yeah.
Like, would you be okay? Were you stressed when you studied?
Yeah.
When the test came,
Yeah.
were you okay, here, let's put in a different analogy here, right? So you studied your like crazy, right?
Okay.
Were you under stress when you studied?
Yeah.
Okay. When you got to the test, weren't you crazy stressed?
Yeah.
Okay. Now that you've finished the test,
Uh-huh.
your performance is going to be higher when you study more.
Right.
Okay. High school is completely different just because of the fact that high school is easy.
Yeah.
When you get to college, no, that's not how it works. But like the more you study, the higher performance you're going to have in class.
Right.
And the less you study, the less performance you're going to have. But the less you study, the less stressed you're going to be.
Yeah.
The more you study, the more stress you're going to be, right?
Higher performance.
Higher performance, exactly. Yeah. So now you go back to spirituality and religion.
Mm-hmm.
Life is like the stress itself. It's the studying part.
Yeah.
And then the test itself is God putting you in a certain scenario or situation.
Yeah.
So like, let's say I invested like 75% of my income, which is crazy dumb, but whatever,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I make a huge tank,
Yeah.
right? I just lose all my money.
Yeah.
Now, what did you do before to build yourself up to handle that situation?
Mm-hmm.
You basically, in your head, you're like, okay, I lost all this money. How am I going to
Yeah.
or am I going to say, oh, what was me, quit my job, go, start crying for the rest of my life? Like it all depends on how you built up for it.
Yeah.
Like the stress that you put yourself before is you studying for that test. And then when that test comes, the higher you'll perform.
Yeah.
So that's how you got to think of it, really, is that you're not going to go through life easy. Like,
yeah, there's no such thing as an easy life.
exactly. And, I think this says it in the Bible too, is that God tests the strongest soldiers.
Right.
So, like the harder your hardship is, that's how much God loves you and like knows that like you can do it.
Yeah, you have the potential to become something great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's like there's a lot of analogies when it comes to this.
Yeah.
So like there's one where it's a picture, so it's a stick figure, right?
Yeah.
And there's two platforms. So there's one platform, a ditch, and another platform.
Yeah.
So the person jumps to grab a flower on the other platform, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then he jumps, but he misses it because like one of the steps completely crumbled underneath.
Mm-hmm.
So then the person starts falling, and then it says your plan on the right with the flower, and then it says God's plan on the bottom, and there's like millions of flowers underneath.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how like I would say I try to trust it, is because like whatever my plan is, and no matter how hard I get tested, God always has something even better for me.
Right.
No matter how hard I get tested, there's always gonna be something better.
I agree with that 100%. There was I don't know the quote word for word, but it's, if something didn't go your way, that means God saw something that you didn't.
Yep.
So I live by that shit all the fucking time.
Yep.
If something didn't work out, then that means he just saved me from something that could have been fucking bad.
Yeah,
so.
the Quran says this too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many examples of this. Like, if you're a person of God, no matter if you're like basically like how in Islam you're the Ahlul Kitab, so the people of the book.
Uh-huh.
So if you're Jewish, Christian, Muslim, whatever you are, no matter what you believe in, especially in those three religions,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna have a successful life. Not saying like you're gonna have a really stressful life. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But no matter how, or like the more you're detached from this world and the more you're attached to God, not the easier, but like the better your life's gonna be, because you're gonna put all your trust in Him. No matter what you go through in this life, it's gonna make your life a lot easier when you get to these tests, because you're just gonna keep jumping through the hurdle. So
yeah, I mean, God's literally the tool to get you through life.
exactly.
And there is no one as great as Him.
I still can't believe that people don't believe in God, dude.
I know that does.
Like,
that
I
is
really
crazy
want to have
me.
an atheist on here and like have a debate with them.
Yeah,
because
that's between y'all two. You're more knowledgeable about your religion than I am.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, like even like I'll try to bring up Christianity as much as I can, because I know like I've done research on certain parts of the Bible, like especially with the Council of Nicaea, and that's another thing I would bring up. Sorry, like I'm going off topic, but so the Council of Nicaea. So before that came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 300 years. So 300 years when the Bible was created. Okay, that's the Old Testament.
Yeah.
When the Council of Nicaea came in, right? Let's pretend that's the New Testament. Okay, so let's just for purpose sakes, right? Because there's so much.
Right.
I'm just trying to dumb it down here, right? So 300 300 years, never in the Bible did it say anything about a Trinity.
Yeah.
It did not say anything about the Trinity.
Yeah.
The Trinity was then, I would say, instated, or like, I wouldn't say reinstated because that it never was. It was added into the Bible when the Council of Nicaea took stuff out.
Yeah.
Like certain chapters from the book of John, certain chapters from the book of Paul, certain chapters from different gospels.
Yeah.
And then they added, or like they used filters by adding different types of like, because now people are going to say, oh, it's translated differently because that's when they had the transition from Hebrew to Latin.
Yeah.
But no, because then they're going to say, oh, it was just a wrong translation. But if you go back to the King James Version, like the legit Old Testament, there's nothing in that book. I haven't read it word for word, whatever, but like there's nothing in that book that says anything about a Trinity.
Yeah.
All it says is that there is one God, and then Jesus was set down to talk about the Word of God.
Yeah.
Okay, what does the Quran say? In chapter Mary, Surah Maryam, it says, he's in his crib, saying, I am not, or he said, God has never begotten a son. I'm merely a Messiah, or like a prophet, messenger, to give the word to God. And I'm here to, do my prayers, give my charity, and be the best servant I can be to God and to my mom. So there's stuff like that like, that like these books, especially like in like the Torah, the Bible, and the Quran, they're all speaking the truth. Yeah. It's just when different authors start, or like different councils, different people start manipulating it. Right. So. Yeah. But yeah, sorry to get off topic, but yeah, that's good, bro. This is like all the research that I do. It's just basically to help people get closer to not just Islam in general, even though it is the true religion in my belief, but just to believe in monotheism. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, they're gonna say, oh, but yeah, Yahweh this, Yahweh that. Yeah. Okay, if you believe in Yahweh, then why do you guys believe in the Trinity? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it makes no sense. Yeah. Same thing with, I mean, I can't really have debates with Jewish people because I don't know if you've noticed, but like, the only people that actually do give like dawah, or like, so dawah just means like preaching their religion to like help people get closer to their religion. Yeah. Is only Christians and Muslims. Jews do not do this. Whoever's born Jewish or whoever converts to Judaism, they do it on their own. Yeah. I don't know why, but I mean, that's what they do. So yeah, you
should do David Lynn shit.
Oh, dude,
go out into the streets, start public speaking.
Start speaking it. Yeah. And then like, bro,
fucking sprayed on.
Oh, dude, yeah, dude, I saw that, like, where I forgot,
baptizing somebody in Toronto.
Yeah, and then a random person walked up. There's like certain ones, like I think David Wood came. Do you know who David Wood is?
Sounds familiar.
So he
had to see a face.
So he basically is supposed to be like he has like his doctorate in like Christian studies or something like that. And then he comes up and like debates Muslims and stuff, right? Okay. So David Wood came up and talked to Sheikh Uthman. So he's like basically just like this big, he's like a bigger name in San Diego. Right. And he just got completely destroyed by Sheikh Uthman, bro. Like everything that he said made no sense. Yeah. And then David Wood would be like, well, I didn't say that. No, I didn't. And then you go to the replay, he said the same exact word. So yeah, like stuff like that is just hilarious to me. Yeah. We got to do a public interview though, where I'm just like talking to somebody.
I'll just record because I can't.
Just so I get smacked. So I'm wave, boom, boom.
Let him get up.
Let him get up. Yeah, and then you start kicking him while you're recording.
Yeah. Bitch ass. Oh shit. What are we at? 44 minutes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Pretty much what makes a man from a boy is.
Oh, dude, we got crazy off topic. But
yeah, we did get crazy off topic, but that's okay. I mean, I guess it wasn't too off topic. We were talking about spiritual shit. Yeah. So, but yeah, just a little recap on pretty much what separates a man from a boy is obviously physicality. That's probably the most obvious one. Somebody who, is just in the gym consistently.
Or just in like any type of fighting martial art.
Yeah.
Would be great.
Just, yes, physically skilled, athletic. taking care of his body, anything like that. Just taking supplements, healthy ones. Not a fucking
Steroids, trend,
not on.
D-ball.
If you're on gear, you're not a man. I'm just telling you this right now.
There you go.
I don't care what your response is. If you're on gear, you're not a man. You're not a
Because
fucking man.
you're putting in artificial testosterone.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
And you're just guaranteeing yourself only another 10, 15 years of life.
Yeah, people do not understand that. Like, okay, so
it's just crazy because I feel like that. This is what drives me nuts. Is I feel like there's people that do, but will still do it just to look a little bit bigger than other people, and just have decades taken away from them.
like, no, not even that, dude. Okay, so from a science perspective, right? Because I just learned about like different so sterile cholesterol, right?
Yeah.
So the root word is sterile.
Uh-huh.
So sterile is it's a certain type of molecule that's created from a lipid. So lipid is just fat.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's this thing called the phospholipid bilayer, right? Mm-hmm. I can go into this, right? But basically, the sterile, when you add the cholesterol to it, so there's just a different molecule that attaches to the sterile molecule. So now you're adding artificial ones to it. So now your body's not even used to it. Okay. The more cholesterol you have, especially your HDL, the worse it's going to be for you.
Yeah.
Because your HDL is the bad one.
Yeah.
And like any type of like blood test you do and your HDL is high, or like your HLDL, which is like any type of like clogging of the arteries or anything like that, it causes atherosclerosis, which is just clogging up the arteries or like plaque buildup.
Yeah.
The more it builds up, the more your heart starts working a lot more, your pulse is a lot higher, your blood pressure is a lot higher.
Yeah.
And then like it can literally like,
have you ever like felt what that shit feels like?
Sterile?
Yeah.
Or like cholesterol?
Like plaque in your heart.
It's like
it's like earwax.
Oh yeah, I know.
It's literally if you put
insane.
earwax in your arteries, it's fucking nuts.
Yeah. And like there's certain ones, I think I don't want to get quoted for this, but there's a certain one, I think it's D-ball, but one of them does where it causes calcification.
Oh, shit.
So basically like kidney stones.
Yeah.
And like the kidney stones,
bro.
they're okay. So a regular kidney stone is around like 8 to 10 millimeters. No, actually that's pretty big. Let's say 4 to 6 millimeters. These ones make like 11, 12 millimeter in diameter. They're huge.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so like you're screwed.
Yeah.
But
anybody on gear, I pray you get fucking.
Dude, no, like any type of gear you take, your cholesterol level is gonna be through the roof.
Yeah.
And like
that's why people just get heart attacks and shit.
Yeah. People don't understand that like one little molecule can completely destroy your life. Just that cholesterol itself. Yeah. Because there's HDL, LDL, HLDL, all these multiple like types, right?
Yeah.
So the higher HLDL you have, the higher plaque buildup you have, the higher, and like the earwax you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
When you think of earwax, and like it sounds kind of nasty, but it's like really mucusy, right?
Yeah, you can't like get it off.
Exactly, you can't get it off.
Exactly.
And like the more your blood pushes on it, the higher your blood pressure gets, which makes your heart pump a lot harder.
Right.
The harder it pumps, the higher your blood pressure gets. The higher your blood pressure gets, the more your arteries like basically explode. Yeah. And then that's how you die, basically.
Yeah. It's aneurysm.
So, dude, it's insane, dude.
It's how
hemorrhage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that.
So any type of like bleed is a hemorrhage.
That shit is so fucking scary
to
think
about.
Yeah. People just do. I don't understand.
Like no, like if like that's like the scientist. Like if you think of it like from a micro level, the macro level just scares you, dude.
Yeah.
Because of like what one little molecule can do to you.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't do fucking steroids.
Please
never do steroids.
But if you do steroids, like for sport, like bodybuilders, there's a reason why they have certain cycles. And it's like legalized. It's not legalized, but it's just like
it's not. They're not using it in a healthy way. It's just looked after by like pediatricians,
correct,
and doctors.
There you go. Yeah, nutritionists, dietitians, so on and so forth. Yeah,
pretty much. They're having these people look at it for them so that they can get another 5-10 years out of their life.
Exactly. So like,
but still have decades taken away from them. So. I don't know how Ronnie Coleman's still alive. That dude's a fucking vegetable.
Oh, dude, no. I don't know if you know who. Dude, I forgot his name. He does like these mukbangs, and he's like massive. He's huge. Cali King, I think, or like Cali something. He had like 4 heart attacks, Yeah, because like, dude, he's been on like, dude, it's crazy.
Fuck.
He's had
that,
like,
dude.
he's for sure taking steroids. Like you can
Oh,
tell,
yeah.
but like like all of his mukbangs are like KFC or like Popeyes, Arby's, all these like fried like fast food
Is
joints.
it a black dude?
Yeah,
Oh, I know you're fucking talking.
you know
The
what I'm
guy
talking
who
about?
was like eating a
Cali
fucking,
Muscle. Cali Muscle.
Yeah, he was
That's
like
his name. Yeah, that guy. Yeah,
having like the
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
seizure
dude.
or something.
Yeah, like 2 weeks later from that video, he had a heart attack and he was in the hospital. Came back and then he started eating the same way again.
That's how my dad was.
Dude, it's crazy.
Bro got.
But your dad's like older. He's not as old as he's not as young as Cali Muscle.
He never used steroids. But,
Yeah.
But like he still has heart disease. You know, he had 2 heart attacks. The second one he got a bypass surgery with like multiple stents.
Yeah.
And dude's still fucking drinking the same old fucking soda, the same amount.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, whatever, dude. Back what were we, and then, high stress situations, create high performing
Yep.
men, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's really not that difficult to understand. You just have to be willing to. If you want it bad enough, you have to be willing to put yourself in those situations.
Exactly. If you want it bad enough, you'll put yourself into those situations.
Yeah. If you want to be a high performing male and just like whatever skill you want to be, you have to just dedicate yourself to that skill and like literally stress yourself at that skill.
Yeah.
Because that's how you make like ultimate fucking progress.
Yeah.
Then, just, be religious, get closer to God. If you don't believe in God,
Believe.
huh?
I said if you don't believe in God, believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't believe in God, believe.
Literally.
If there's just something telling you, just try going to church at least once.
Yeah. Church,
And,
mosque, whatever.
If you really just can't get into believing God, then I guess I pray for you.
Yeah. Literally.
Hopefully you will.
Yeah.
But yeah, just really get close with God. He's literally the guide to from
Yeah.
birth till death. He's your guide. He is the tool you will use to get through everything. So
yeah, and yeah, like how the chapter of timing, Surah Asr, talks about how fast time goes. Like literally, it talks about how little time you have in this life and like how to use it and utilize it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like there's multiple scholars that said if that was the only chapter that got passed down, it would completely perfect the religion.
Yeah.
Like that's how it's only 3 verses long or like 3 verses long and it has all of like the knowledge you need.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, you know how fast time goes? Season 5 of Fortnite came out 5 years ago.
dude, that's crazy to me. Yeah, I haven't played since season 4 or season 3.
I've been seeing like the whole Fortnite thing's like, oh, season this came out, however many years ago. And it's like,
You know the person that put me on with Fortnite was Marco.
Marco.
And like the crazy thing is I just never talked to Marco before middle school, or like before we actually started talking like as a friend group. I never talked to this man ever in my life. And like in middle school, I remember sitting next to him in lunch or something like this one time.
Yeah.
Cuz I think I was friends with Aiden or like somebody like that.
Yeah.
And he was sitting with us. He's like, "Dude, you guys should play Fortnite." And I was like, "What?"
What, bro?
Yeah.
I remember I played Fortnite in season 1, like when it was brand fucking new.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't like this whole battle royale game mode.
Yeah.
So I didn't play it until like the end of season 2. Like that's when I started playing it like consistently. It was like the end of season 2.
I started playing it consistently when the battle pass came out in season 2.
Yeah. Yeah. But W game back then, not no more. L.
Yeah.
But I don't even be playing. Yeah, I don't play video games like that. So
The only game I've been really playing is Ghost of Tsushima and UFC.
yeah, I've been playing like Rocket League.
Dude, Ghost of Tsushima is such a good game, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep talking about it, dude. That game is so good. Like I play on the cinematic mode, like everything makes it perfect.
Bro got the highest graphics.
Yeah.
You got anything else for him?
Not really. Just
Neither do I.
stay spiritual. Keep God in your life.
On God.
Like no matter what struggle you're going through, you're gonna get through it no matter what.
Yeah.
It's okay to feel sad, low-key. Like it's okay to express it.
Yeah.
Just don't like control your emotion before your emotion controls you.
And don't victimize yourself.
There you go.
Like, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, next week hopefully we'll talk more about UFC because there's another big fight coming up. So
Yeah, we'll do. So yeah, expect more UFC
content. Yeah, see you next week.
See you.